So let's talk about the Capital One Quicksilver credit card. Is this card really worth it this year? And so before you actually get this credit card, I want you to watch this video from beginning to end because you want to have a clear idea what kind of potential this card actually holds for you. So here are the key takeaways. When you think about the Capital One Quicksilver cash rewards, I want you to think about a card that allows you to have to actually earn 1.5% cash back. The cool thing about this card is that you're earning 1.5% on every purchase, so there is no rotating categories to account for. There are no, like, you don't have to account for rotating categories. You don't have to really track those, like certain categories every month or every quarter. Okay. So the cool thing about this card is that it's on 1.5% cash back on every single purchase, which really keeps your rewards earning simple and also can be lucrative, especially over time. Okay, this is really cool. So this card doesn't charge foreign transaction fees, so feel free to take it along when traveling abroad. So this is kind of cool because that just means that you can also earn 1.5% cash back on every let's say any purchase on abroad. Okay, so to truly maximize your rewards earnings, you want to pair this card with another rewards card that earns more rewards in the categories in which you spend the most. Because the thing is that even though this is 1.5% across the board, certain cards can actually give you like up to 5% or even 10% in specific categories. Okay, but overall, this Capital One Quicksilver Cash Rewards credit card is a simple flat rate cashback credit card that offers a low maintenance way to earn cash back. Nothing really complicated. Okay, so it earns 1.5%. That's it. Okay, so I want to go into details with you later on and explain to you what the conditions are for you to earn cash back. But the card, I just wanted to give you a bird's eye view of this card before I actually go into the nitty gritty, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into if you decide that this card is actually the right for you. So it's important to understand that there are situations, there are scenarios that make this card, this Capital One Quicksilver, actually worth it. So for the simple product that this cashback card is, Capital One Quicksilver can fit various types of cardholders with different goals. It depends on the specifics of your situation. I want to share with you 4 scenarios in which the Quicksilver may be an excellent addition to your wallet. First of all, if you want simplicity, right? If you want a simple credit card, you do not want, like I said before, you do not want to track like categories every month or every quarter. Like if you do not want to complicate things, go with this card. If you want simplicity, fantastic. Okay, so some people like to have multiple cards and an intricate credit card strategy, while others don't want to complicate things. It's actually understandable because figuring out how to earn the most rewards every time you pull out your wallet and then calculating the best way to use them can be overwhelming. But hey, listen, some people love it. Some people love that the challenge. Okay, but if that sounds like a struggle to you, the Capital One Quicksilver can be a great product. It's actually a true no fuss credit card. You get the same cashback rate, 1.5%, no matter what you buy, and you don't have to worry about annual fees, rotating categories, or choosing the right card for every purchase. And in fact, the only time the rewards earnings defer is when you earn more than 1.5%. That's when the 5% back on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel comes into play. So redeeming rewards is simple too. You don't have to chase down the transfer partner with the highest point value or scour the internet for travel deals. Just use cashback as a statement credit to offset any purchase. So that's really good. So the first scenario is if you want simplicity. The second scenario is if you want a card to complete your credit card strategy. So if you have, let's say, if you do have multiple credit cards and your goal is to maximize rewards in every single way, a flat rate cashback credit card is actually a must have in your arsenal, especially in the long run. So rewards credit cards, whether it's a bonus cashback or travel credit card, typically offer high rewards rates only in certain categories, while the rest of your purchases earn 1% cashback or 1 point per dollar. So to ensure you earn more than whatever you spend, you will need a card like the Capital One Quicksilver. So another scenario, this is the third scenario. Another scenario where you might want to go with the Capital One Quicksilver is if you are planning a large purchase. So the simple reward system and lack of annual fees aren't the only two great things about Quicksilver. It also comes with a lengthy zero interest intro period. So when you get the card, what happens here is that when you get the card, you get the possibility to have a 0% intro on balance transfers for 15 months on purchases, meaning you pay no interest at all. And if you carry a balance during your first 15 months with this card, you're actually you'll have some good time, and like no interest period. Note you still have to make minimum payments, and a 19 to a 29% variable APR applies after the 15 months. Okay, so this 15 months can come in handy if you are looking to fund a large purchase. You'll get enough time to pay it off and still earn cash back without any interest eaten into your rewards. Also, the another scenario, and this is the fourth one. That's the fourth scenario where you might need to get the Capital One Quicksilver if you are new to rewards credit cards. So if you haven't had a rewards credit card before, the Capital One Quicksilver card can be a starter cashback card. It can get you into the habit of paying with your credit card as much as you can to earn rewards and paying off your credit card bill in full every month, so you don't lose your cash back to interest. So once you're comfortable with your Quicksilver, you can decide if you want to take on more credit cards or have a more complex card strategy, or if one flat rate cashback is actually sufficient for you. So something to really think about. In fact, the Capital One Quicksilver may actually help you, especially if you are trying to get into the world of rewards. Okay, so it's actually a good stepping stone kind of card. Okay, so that can really help you get going. So when is the Capital One Quicksilver not worth it? I just explained to you the fourth scenario where this card is actually worth it. Okay, so this card is definitely not worth it if you want to have one credit card and you value credit card perks. Let me explain. If you want to have one credit card, this card is not right for you because juggling multiple credit cards is not for everyone, and that's okay. So in this case, you want to ensure that your single credit card has a lot to offer or more than the competition at the very least, right? So when it comes to a flat rate cashback, you can find cards that will earn you more. Let me give you an example. If you take the Wells Fargo Active Cash card, here you have a card that gets you unlimited 2% cash back on purchases. Can you imagine? You are basically going from 1.5% that the Capital One Quicksilver is offering you to 2% that the Wells Fargo Active Cash card is offering you. And I'm speaking here about unlimited 2%. Unlimited 2% cash back on purchases. So let's say you spend $10,000 on your card per year. With the Wells Fargo Active Cash, you would earn $200 in cash rewards annually, compared to $150 with a Quicksilver. So the more you spend, the bigger that difference will be. So that delta, you might be thinking, well, that's only 0.5%, but that's really big. It can become bigger and bigger and bigger. So the second scenario where you do not want to have the Capital One Quicksilver is if you value credit card perks. So credit card perks can be really interesting, but depending upon your situation, you might actually value them or not value them. But if you happen to value credit card perks, the Capital One Quicksilver falls short big time. So beyond basic benefits like extended warranty and travel insurance, it offers a little less. Many no annual fee cards provide more perks, and its a 1.5% cashback rate is lower than competitors. So for better rewards and benefits, you want to consider cards with higher rates or premium perks. So the big question is, should you get the Capital One Quicksilver this year? In terms of decision, it really depends on your situation. Okay, one thing I want to say here is that it depends on also your location, but also your household structure. If you have kids, you got to really ask yourself what kind of purchasing patterns do you have every single month. Okay, and where you are at? Are you in an urban area, or are you in suburban area, or are you on the countryside? Okay, and what kind of expenses do you really have in your monthly budget? Because the kind of expense categories the kind of expense category you have might dictate the strategy to have. Okay, so but one thing for sure, if you think about the Capital One Quicksilver, I want you to think about simplicity. I've said this before, but I want to insist on that. You have a simple rewards system and no annual fee, so nothing really complicated. You don't have to really overcomplicate things. Of course, like I said a little earlier, instead of 1.5%, you can decide to go to 2% with a Wells Fargo Active Cash card. But if for any reason you can't get the Wells Fargo Active Cash card, then stick with the Capital One Quicksilver card. Okay, and but you need to understand that when it comes to Capital One Quicksilver, you also need to think about your existing relationship with Capital One. So when I say existing relationship, I mean if you have a prior credit card holder relationship with Capital One, or you have a relationship with Capital One on the banking side. Okay, so because you can also parlay that relationship to getting something interesting. So if you are in the market for a no annual fee card that earns rewards on every purchase, there are actually a few options I want you to really consider this year. So let me talk to you about other no annual fee cashback cards to consider this year. So you have the Blue Cash Everyday card from American Express. You have the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and you have the City Double Cash card. So not just the Wells Fargo Active Cash, you do have the Blue Cash, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and the City Double Cash card. So if you think about the Blue Cash Everyday card from American Express, you have the ability to have 3% cash back at U.S. supermarkets on up to $6,000 per year in purchases, then 1%. You have a 3% cash back on U.S. online retail purchases on up to $6,000 per year, then 1%. You have 3% cash back at U.S. gas stations on up to $6,000 per year, then 1%. And then you have 1% cash back on other purchases. So you can see that the rewards here are not 1.5%; they're actually double what you would get with the Capital One Quicksilver. Of course, with the Blue Cash Everyday card, you are limited to 6,000, but it's still good anyway. And you are also able to earn a welcome offer of $200 statement credit after you spend $2,000 in purchases on your new card within the first 6 months. So that's for the Blue Cash Everyday card. And then you also have the Chase Freedom Unlimited. So the Chase Freedom Unlimited allows you to earn actually a 5% cash back on travel purchased through Chase Travel. You have 3% cash back on drugstore purchases and dining at restaurants, including takeout and eligible delivery service. And then you have 1.5% cash back on all other purchases. And this card also is fantastic because it allows you to have an intro offer. So there is an intro offer with the card. You're able to earn a $200 bonus after you spend $500 on purchases in your first 3 months from account opening. That's really good because spending $500 in the first 3 months is pretty easy. Then you also have the Citi Double Cash Card. Here you are able to earn 2% on every purchase with unlimited 1% cash back when you buy, plus an additional 1% as you pay for those purchases. So to earn cash back, pay at least the minimum due on time. Plus, you have a special travel offer. You're able to earn 5% total cash back on hotel, car rentals, and attractions, both actually on the Citi travel portal. Okay, so that's really good. And also, by the way, there is an offer. There is a promotional offer. This is a welcome offer. You are able to earn $200 cash back after you spend $1,500 on purchases in the first 6 months of account opening. And this bonus offer will be fulfilled as 20,000 thank you points, which can be redeemed for like $200 cash back. So that's really fantastic. So one thing you need to really understand here is that I gave you all the alternatives, right? But those alternatives will depend whether you choose one alternative will depend on what your situation really is. Let me give you an example. If you go with the Blue Cash Everyday Card, for instance, that's really good if you have a family, if you have a family and tend to shop at US supermarkets, whether you shop online or you shop in brick and mortar stores. If you shop regularly and you are able to reach $6,000 a year, that's pretty good. Now, $6,000 a year, that's about what? That's about $500 every month. That's really good. That's totally possible as long as you have a large family and you shop regularly. Okay, so $500 on average a month. And by the way, that's again online and offline. Okay, so if this is really good. Another scenario is that if you have let's say you're by yourself or you have a family, you can also enjoy the Chase Freedom Unlimited because the Chase Freedom Unlimited gives you more flexibility. There is no cap when it comes to like there's no $6,000 cap as you said earlier when it comes to the conditions. Okay, for instance, you have when you think about 1.5% cashback credit, actually like when you have a cashback credit on everything else, but particularly 5% cashback on travel purchased through Chase Travel and 3% cashback on dining and drugstore purchases. That's really good if your spending habits actually are in those categories. Okay, so that way you can rack up rewards real fast. So the Chase Freedom Unlimited is really good because the Chase Ultimate Rewards points are actually a popular travel rewards currency. Okay, so bottom line is the Capital One credit card, Quicksilver credit card, might not offer the most value as far as flat rate cashback credit cards go. Still, it's a decent choice for cardholders that seek simplicity in their card rewards and those looking for a product to complement their more complex credit card strategy. Okay, so this is kind of cool from a flexibility point of view. So, in conclusion, in today's conversation, I spoke to you about the Capital One Quicksilver credit card, explained to you whether it's worth it, when it's not worth it, and other no annual fee cashback cards considered. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.